Okay, so as promised, here is the other ragdoll face stencil. This is what the stencil looks like. I've already pinned it to the doll. And remember, my stencils come and they're just a cardstock, which is flexible, and I do like this better than the stencil plastic for some reason. I don't know. I'm gonna try some stencil plastic mylar and we'll see. But anyway, for now, this is how my templates, doll face templates come. So what I told you before is you want to practice on a piece of paper so you get a good idea of what your doll stencil looks like, what your finished product would look like. And then I did it on a scrap piece of fabric. And once again, I used a scrap piece of fabric, but it's not the same as what I'm actually going to paint on today. But I think that's okay. So, okay, yeah, I had already traced this one earlier. I just didn't get a chance to finish it. So let me finish tracing on this side. And remember, I told you with this particular stencil, the eyelashes are just kind of, these are placeholders for you where they should go. So you could just put that like that. And you need a little arch. Well, I'll show you that when I take this part off. So I'm gonna go ahead and just trace where her nose should be, because we're gonna use the fabric markers with this. And oh, I already traced out her mouth, or the doll's mouth. So I'm gonna take all these pens out and put them back where they belong, because ooh, it's a beast if you step on one of these on the floor. Okay. Oh, I didn't do the bottom part of the eye. I'm gonna trace that. So I know I can just hold this here, line it up, and I just need a little light trace there. Okay. So once you kind of have it stenciled out, because of the way the stencils work or how they print and cut, I'd say take a coin, and the coin just helps you draw that little arch so that it looks almost perfect. And same thing, I'm gonna turn this doll around. Remember I told you I had a whole lot of dolls that I had made prototypes of but never finished their faces. So that's why you see so many. Okay. And that's all done. Okie dokie. I'm gonna put a little mark there. So the next thing you want to do is you want to get your black fabric marker pen and just trace around the edges. And I'm gonna just do this. Once again, I'm not a really good artist, but I can trace pretty well. Okay, so that's the mouth. So these are the eyes. And just gonna trace all around. Clearly you want to get a fabric marker with the fine point. It makes it a lot easier to draw in there. Okay. And yeah, you gotta kind of have a steady hand for this. So just go slow, take your time. And I'm gonna go ahead and put that there. And her eyelashes. See, I messed that one up. That actually should have been going the other way, but I'm not gonna fool with it now. Okay, remember, practice makes perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and fill in her lips. Cool. Okay, remember for this doll, you're gonna still have to do a little hand drawing, I'm gonna take a little plastic ruler, because what you want to do is you need to get these little ovals, these little marks. So you just want it to be even going across. So just, I hope you can see some really little light marks, because you just want to trace from here to there. You just want it to go down. And easy peasy. Yeah, I know I went off a little bit there, but it's okay. It'll be okay. And then you're gonna need another section right here. Yep. Okay. So now you want to you want to paint. You can either use the acrylic paint, and what I typically do is I shake the paint up, and usually there's going to be paint left in the top, and I just take a really fine paintbrush and just take my time and just fill in the whites of the eyes. Now, in one of my other videos, you see I kind of do the whites of the eyes first and then draw this in. It's entirely up to you what works for you best. And I may actually, if some of the white touches the black fabric part, have to go over that again so it doesn't look all weird. And it might not be a bad idea to do the whites first, because then when you put in the other colors, they'll be more vibrant, because you're kind of starting with a blank slate, like a blank piece of paper. But for purposes of time, I'm going to do it this way, just so you can get an idea of, you know, an alternate way to do it. Okay, so that's the whites of the eyes. I know, I'm putting a little more paint. You really should let your paint dry between coats of paint. That's really the best way to do this. So I'm going to close that back up. Remember we said this doll, her eyes are going to be brown. So, I'm going to use the brown fabric marker. Yeah, and once again, you should let this paint dry. I'm going to do this because I'm just showing you. And I'm just going to be super duper careful. I might have to skip that whole section. Maybe not. Okay, so that's that part. Remember, let the paint dry. Let the paint dry. Let your paint, if you're using acrylic paint, let it dry. Because otherwise, it just ends up being all messed up. Now, you can use a hairdryer to speed up the drying of the paint process. That would not be a problem at all. Okay, so getting there. Remember, her eyes are brown. And now I'm going to take my black and I'm going to fill in the top part up here. Yeah, I could have done that initially, but I didn't. But you can. Whatever works best for you. The most important thing are the stencils, because it helps. Oh, and I do want you to notice, this is why it's important to do a sample to practice on your own fabric. This fabric, which is fleece. This fabric is fleece. This is the muslin fabric. And as you can see, even with the fabric pins, it bled a little bit into the other section, which that's not so bad if you are using a darker color over it. I'm gonna fill all this in. And this doll is, her face is just about finished. Okay, voila. So, the only other thing I would do, and let me just let this dry a little bit, is you want to do those little highlights, those little dots in her eyes, the highlights. I forget what you call that. And you could just use put a little bit of paint on the end of your paintbrush, because remember, that's perfectly round, and just dab. See, wasn't enough paint on there, so you can dab again. Just try to have a steady hand. Ta-da! Another pretty little doll face. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a little shorter than the others, but it's all good. So thank you again for watching, and you will find these stencils hopefully in my Etsy shop by the time you're watching this video. And if you have any questions, feel free, stop by, ask. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.